All right, guys, welcome to Mr. Bennett Matt channel. Happy to have all of you here right about now. All right, so today we'll be looking at another past paper. Hopefully, we can get to the end as I have an appointment. All right. So number one says -3 squared plus -2 squared. Guys, go ahead and try. Remember, you are supposed to try. All right. Alright, so this one is very straightforward as with most number ones. So it's -3 squared, so that's -3 times -3 plus -2 times -2. Now remember, a negative times a negative gives us positive. So this one would be 13, and that is C. Alright, so number two says, what number when added to 1/3 gives 2? So you can do one out of two things. You can just add 1/3 to the options given, or you could just simply subtract 1/3 from 2. 1 and 1/3 rather. So that's 2 minus 1 and 1/3. Alright. How you guys want to do this? You can convert this. 1 times 3 plus 1, so that's 4/3. Can put this over 1, right? So the LCM would be 3. So 1 into 3 goes 3 times, and multiply this by 3, so we get 6 minus 3 to itself 1, and multiply this by 1. So 4 ones, 4, and 4 minus 6, 6 minus 4 is equal to 2/3, so that's 2/3. Alright guys, remember, go ahead and try. Let's move on to number 3. Alright, so number 3 says, Anna and Betty share a sum of money in the ratio 2:3. If Anna receives $60 less than Betty, what was the total amount of money shared? Now, this one can be a little bit spooky, alright? But the thing about it, we have to go back to what we know, alright? So we know that with the ratio, it's proportional, right? So we know that whatever it is, whatever the number is, when we divide it, because we add the both ratios, so that's 2 plus 3 5, right? So we know that the share, one share would have to equal to 60, right? And that would be only 300, because 5 into 300 goes 60 times, right? And that's one share. So it has to be $300 share. Whoa! Whoa! Oh boy. Alright. So only 300 divided by 5 can give you 60. So the difference between each share would be 60. And this is 2 and 3, so that would be 300. So our option for that would be T. Alright. Let's move on to number. Alright, let's look at number 4. And it says if 235 times 48.7 is equal to 11,445.5, then 23.5 times 0.487 equal. Guys, they do not expect you to sit down and multiply everything. What they expect you to do is to count the number of decimal places, the total. So this one has 3 decimal places, and this one has 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So it should be this. All right. Let's move on to 5. A test was marked out of 80. A boy scored 60% of his marks on a test. How many marks did he score? All right. So they are saying now the test was marked out of 80. So we know that the total is 80. Don't know the boy score. Go ahead and try that one. But out of whatever. All right. This is two-way to it, guys. Since it's multiple choice, you could either do what we call trial and error. So we know that it's not 20, right? So we could either we know that we could either try 48 out of 80, or 60 out of 80, or 75 out of 80, and so which one of them give us 60%, right? Or you could do it the mathematical way, right? So just in case you go in exam and you don't remember, you can try these numbers. Put them over 80 times 100%, and see which one of them give us 60. But since we are all mathematicians, let us use X to represent the student grade. And we know that it's marked out of 80 times 100, right? That's 100%. That's how we calculate a grade. All right? And we know that it ends up to be 60%. So we can just transpose, right? This is being divided. So over here, it's going to be what? Multiplied. So X is equal to 60 times 80. And then this is being multiplied, so the inverse would be divided. So we multiply by 100. Divide by 100 rather. Alright, we can divide by 10. So this now, and then this. So 68 would be 48. So our option would be, alright. Let's move on to number 6. So this is number 6 here. So our opposite. This is 11. So I guess we are supposed to go up to the top. This is taking awfully long. Alright, so we're at number 8, I think. Let's go. No, number 7. Alright, number 7 said, what is the value of the digit 2 in the number 48.62? Alright, so this is the digit 2. Alright, so this right here is 6 over 10. So it will be 2 over 100. Remember, we don't have 1, we have 10th, 100th, and 1000th. Right, so this will be 1 over 1000. Guys, I'm showing you this because at the end of the day, you can see, so you can flip the question, right? So for number 7, it would be 2 over 100. All right. Number 8 says the highest common factor of 12, 15, and 60 is. I know the answer right away, but I'm still going to show persons how to do it. All right. So we have 12, 15 rather, and 60. So what we have to do is list all the factors of 12. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Remember, factors are numbers that can divide equally without leaving a remainder. And we'll do the same thing. So it's 1, 3, 5, and 15. All right, so we do the same thing for 60 now. We list all the factors of 60. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. So now we're gonna look for the highest number that is in all three, right? And that would be 3. So the highest common factor would be 3. So that's B. Right, number 9 said the next term in the sequence is, so let's see what's happening. We have 1, 6, 13, 22, 33. All right. So let's see what's happening. So what did they get from this? Let's see if they added 5. What did they get here? 6 plus that. They added 7. 13 plus that. They added 9. Added 11. So I guess you have to add 30, right? Just to follow the pattern. That would be 46 for our answer. So number 9 is 46. By distributive law, 49 times 17 plus 49 times 13 is the same as, alright, so we add, first we take out these are common, so that's 49, so we take out the 49, and then we add these, so 17 plus 3 is 20, so that will give us D for our answer. So number 10 is, let's move on to the next page, right? So hit the subscribe button, guys. Alright, so number 7 says P is equal to 23572 equal to 236 and S is equal to 2, 4, and 5. Then P intersect Q intersect S is equal to, now P intersect means and, so it's just asking us to find the one that is in R3, and that would be 2, right? 2 is the only number that is common to all 3. So number 11 is A. Let's move on to number 12. Alright, so number 12 says in the Venn diagram, the shaded region represents, now if you look closely, shaded region, everything is shaded except for P, right? So that's P. And so basically, it would be P prime or P complement. So number 12 is A. Alright, let's move on to number 13. It says in a class of 32 students, 17 study music and 20 study art. What the least number of students who study both music and art? Alright. So the union or the universal set is 32. Let's write it. So it's 32. Grand total and music. So this is N and this is R. Right? What's the least number? So 20 study this. And 17. Right? So 20 plus 17, that's 37. 37 minus 30. That would be 5. All right, let's move on to 14. I think we go up back. If P is equal to factors of 6 and Q is equal to factors of 4, then the shaded region represents. All right, so guys, let's just list the factors. I've done this several times. Factors are numbers that can go into leaving a remainder. So into 6, you know, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 6, right? And the factors of 4 would be 1, 2, and 4. So the numbers that are common are 1 and 2. Right? So that would be 1 and 2. So our answer is. Let's move on to 15. A dress which costs $180 is being sold at a discount of 10%. The amount of discount is, notice what they say, the amount of discount. They never say how much you are going to pay. So just find 10% of 180. And guys, let me tell you about percentage. Percentage is rather easier than you guys think, alright? So 10%, ask yourself this question. How many 10% are in 100? That would be 10, right? So just like how you have 50%, how many 50% in 100? That's 2. So we just divide by 2. So we can do the same thing. Just divide 180 by 10, and that would be 10%. 10% is basically dividing by 10. So that is 18. So we don't have to do no long sometimes. Alright? So that is C. Alright, let's move on to number 16. Hope you guys not just skimming through the thing and you're actually watching the video and process the thing. Alright. So it said the value of a plot of land is $18,000. Land tax is charged at a rate of 0. Well, can't say 70 cents, right? That's the right thing. Per 100 value. What's the total amount of tax paid for the land? Now, this is my approach that I would take. I would definitely just find how many $100 are in $18,000, and then because I give me the rate per 100 and then times by 70 cents, right? Which is basically rather easy. All right, so let's divide. So it's 18,000 rather divided by 100. So that's 80. No, 180 man, because one extra one, that's 18, yeah, 18,000, sorry. So that's 180 times 70. What I do by 70, guys, we can just put the 2 decimal places after, right? So this put a 0, 7, 0, 0, 7, 8, 56. You see the answer already. 6, it ends with a 6. So that's B. We'll just multiply it out. 717 plus that 126. Now we have 2 decimal places. As 70 cents. So that is B. So number 16 is P. Let's move on to number 17. All right, it says at the end of any year, a car is worth 5% less than what it was worth at the beginning of the year. If a car is worth 9.5 in December 2016, then its value in January 2016 was. All right, so guys, let's take the approach to take it step by step. I know it's 10,000, but I'll just show you guys how we get that. All right, so you see at the end of the year, it's worth 5% less. So it means that if a car is worth in December This is after depreciation, right? So what it is saying that 95% at the end of the year, because remember it's depreciated by 5%. So this value here represents 95% because the 5% was taken off. So it's 95. We don't know the number. We know that the value now is 95. So 95% of the number is 9,500. So all we have to do now is just find the number. All right. So we transpose again. Hope you guys understand the reasoning. Or guys, you could just find 5% of each of these numbers. So we should only get 500, right? So whatever approach you take, guys, these are not very hard. Can be a little bit tricky, I admit that, but read the questions very carefully. And then we divide by 95. All right. So boom, let's go. This into this 1, this into this 10. So it's 10 times 100, which is 10,000, as I discussed earlier. All right. So we could have also find 5% of each of these numbers until we can give you 5%. Because depreciation means the value reduces by 5% or whatever depreciation rate they give. All right. The opposite to depreciation is appreciation, and that's when the value goes up, like housing. All right, so it says a man bought a mobile phone for $800 and sold it for $10,000. What was the profit as a percentage? All right, so let's do that. Go ahead and do that. All right, so let's look at it now. So a man bought, so the cost price that he bought it for was $800 and he sold it for $1,000. So let's look at the difference. The difference would be the profit, right? So the selling price minus the $800. So in make 1,000, you make 200 pound in $800, right? And then now it says, what was the profit as a percentage of the cost price? So this is the profit. All right, so it's 20%, and then say as the cost price, so it's 200. Cost price was 800. All right, now read that times 100%. Because remember, we're trying to find the 100%. These gone, these gone. 1 into this, 1 into this, 4. So it's a quarter. So that's 25%. So that would be D number 819. Really, I lose here. A man's annual salary is $45,000. His tax-free allowance total $13,000. He paid tax of 35%, and his taxable income, the tax payable is. All right, so two things to this. You have to understand what they mean by the term taxable allowance. So, and $13,000, you will not pay any tax. So let us look at that. So his pay is $45,000. However, he has 13,000 tax-free allowance. So on this, he won't pay. So he will pay on the remaining. So the first $13,000 is not taxable. All right. So that's tax-free. So all we have to do now is find the amount that the tax will pay. So that's 45,000 minus the 13,000. Hope you guys getting the reasoning. So that leaves him with $32,000, right? All right, so we're gonna finish it doing it. So 32,000, that tax. He pays a tax of 35%. So on the 32%, he's gonna pay 35% tax. So let's find that. 35% of 30. All right. So bam, bam, bam. This done. So it will be 320 times 300. 320. Alright, so we get 2. Alright, so that's 11,200. Alright. Let's move on to 20. The simple interest on a loan of $6,000 for 3 years was $900. What was the rate of interest per annum? Alright, so let's just spread back it down as my YouTube, I say. Alright, so the simple interest. So let's just go back to what we know. We know that simple interest is equal to P times T times R, right? And we know the rate come with percent, so that's all the 100 coming. Alright, so they give us now the simple interest on a $600 loan. So the simple interest is this. So it's 900, that's what we got. That's the simple interest. Normally they would ask us to find the simple interest, right? But this time they ask us to find the R. So we are trying to find the rate, right? So put in what we know that the principal is $6,000. But Mr. Williams, our principal. Alright, and then time is 3 years times the rate. We don't know the rate, but I need to search. I know so this is over 100. So all we have to do now is just transpose, right? So it would be 900 times 100, and then them here would divide, right? Because they are being multiplied, so the inverse divide. So we have 6,000 times 3. Alright, we could take off from them 0 by 10. Alright. This one, this one, this one, this one. I miss something. Let me see how many 0 they use. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did it. Alright. So 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 9, 3. So that's 30 divided by 6. So that's 5%. Alright, so it says a television set costs $350 cash. When it's bought on hire purchase, a deposit of $35 required, followed by 12-month payments of $30. How much is saved by paying cash? So make we just read back it down as a YouTube would have said. Alright, so we know that the cash price is $350, and when bought on hire purchase, $35. So the deposit how you pay them. Pay down that first to get the credit, alright? And then now 12 months of $30. So it's 12 months of $30. 12 times that is 360. All right, so we add the 35 to it. And we get 395. So when an higher purchase, the total would be 395. That's what you spend. But the savings would be to subtract the cash price, which is 350. Are we good? Seeing that answer right here. Oh, 45, yeah. Sorry. So it's 45. 21 is D. All right, let's move on to 22. I know person's probably saying something that was so slow with this one, but guess what? I'm a teacher, not an answer teacher. All right. I want you guys to get it. Hit that like button, guys. There's nobody at the like button. What do you, man? All right. How much does a customer pay for an article? Marks $50 if sales tax of 6% is charged. So all I have to do is just find 6% of $50, or we could put or we could find 95% direct. Either way, we're gonna get the answer on subtract, right? All right, so it's how much is a customer pay for an article of $50 for sales tax of 6. Oh Lord, tax. This is an increase, it's an increase. Yo, I almost thought it was discount. So all right. So let's just find 6%. So, 5 into 5, 1, 5 into this, 2, 2 into this, 1, 2 into that, 3. All right, so it's $3 increase. So 50 plus 3 is $53. All right. So let's move on to 23. 7 times the product of two numbers A and B may be written as 7 times the product of two. Product means multiply, so that would be A, product of AB. All right, so 23 now. If x is an integer that satisfies the inequality, then let's see what it is saying. So we're gonna divide both sides by 2. So that will give us 2 less than x less than or equal to 3. So that would be A. Alright, 25 says coefficient of x in the expansion. So guys, just expand. No matter, just expand. Alright, x times x, that's x squared. Gonna multiply both terms by this x right here. So I multiply all of this. So x times 1 is negative 1, rather is negative x. 3 times x is positive 3x. So we can stop here now because the coefficient will be negative x plus that gives us 2x. And we just finish. 3 ones, negative 3. But we're focusing on this part only, right? So we get 2x. So the coefficient will be the number in front of the x term. And this will be positive, right? Because this is bigger. So our answer would be C. Move on to 26. It says 3x squared times 2x to the third is equal to, what's the answer for that, guys? All right. So if you had said 3 to 6, add the powers, this is fairly simple. So 2 plus 3 would have done this on my channel quite a few times. So 26 to be. Alright, let's move on to 27. Alright, so it says that P is equal to M cube divided by 2 minus M. If M equal minus 2, then the value of P is, so it's fairly easy with substituting the value, negative 2. So that's negative 2 cube divided by 2 minus 2. That can be very tricky with this part, alright? Negative 2 means negative 2 times negative 2. So then you jump steps now, guys. So we can wait. So alright, this is gonna become plus. So this is gonna give us 4. This is gonna give you 2 plus 2. This time this is gonna give us negative 8 over 4, and that is equal to negative 2. 27 is A. 28 now, and the algebra. If A asterisk E is equal to A over B minus 1, then 7 asterisk 28 is equal to, I've done this on earlier video. Alright, so it means that A is 7 and B is 28, and it says that A so that's 7. That one a different one. It's not the same one. I think A over B, which is 7 over 28 minus 1. This one is definitely different. Alright, so 7 to 7, 1, 7 to this, a quarter. Sorry guys, this is not the one. And a quarter minus 1 equals negative 3/4. This one is different. Almost, let's circle the answer. Be very careful, guys. Let's read the questions carefully. If 5 bracket x minus 2 is equal to 5, then x is equal to, so we expand the bracket, so 5 times 2, that's 10x minus 5 equals 35. Now we take the inverse of this, which is plus 5, so that's 10x equal to 35 plus 5. So 10x is equal to 40. So our answer would be 4. Alright guys, hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Alright, John has X marbles and Max has twice as many marbles as John. Max gives John 5 of his marbles. How many marbles does John know how? Alright, so let's take it from the top. John has X marbles, right? So this is John. Max has twice, so guess what? It's a Max, you know. Max have 2x. Max have twice, so twice will 2 times, right? So Max give John 5 of his marbles. So Max will know that be 2x minus 5, as Max give 5 of him. How many marbles does John know how? Alright, so John did have x, but now him get the plus 5, right? So it will be x plus 5. Awesome questions. Awesome question. John has X marbles and Max has twice as many marbles as John. Max gives John 5 of his marbles. How many marbles does John now have? Just reading to make sure it's the right thing. Awesome question. Awesome. Alright, let's move up. We're at 31, and it says that when 8 is subtracted from a certain number and the result is multiplied by 3, the answer is 21. What was the original number? Right? So basically, you can ask yourself, what times 3 give you 21? That could give you the answer. Right? And that would be 7, so that's 15. And I got you know, I'm putting. Alright, so if the number is x minus 8 and the result, I will multiply by 3. And the result must be 21. Right? So it's the 3 times x, 3x, 3 times 8, negative 24, equal 21. Alright, so now we add 24 to both sides, so 3x equal 21 plus 24. And 3x is equal to 45. So divide, and we know it's 50, right? We had already established that, but I just say, you know what, let me show the work. Some persons who might know. How many kilograms are in 1 ton? That's 1,000. Right? The volume in cm cube of a cube of a 3 centimeter is, so that's 3 times 3 times 3. So that's 27 cm cube. Alright, so 33 is C. Alright, look at this one now. A car travels 80 kilometers in 2.5 hours. What is the speed of kilometers per hour? So we're going to divide 80. And we could take it from there. So we know that distance, speed times time. Alright. However, they gave us the distance, 80 kilometers, and they asked us to find the time. No, hold on. They asked us what is the speed, so we asked us the speed, but they gave us the time to be 2.5. So we just divide 80 by 2.5, right? That's 32. Go to the next page. So let's see what's happening on the next page. I'm not seeing nothing. Alright. So 35 said 35 says, which of the following figures shows a triangle resting on a square? Refers to this figure which 35 refers to the following figure which shows a triangle resting on a square. The length of one side of the square is 5 centimeters and the height of the triangle is 4 centimeters. What is the total area of the figure in centimeters squared? Right? So this would be 5. Since as this side of 5, right? So everything of 5. This is a right angle triangle. 2 right angle triangle basically. It will be half the base times the height, so the base of 5. So that works out to 5 for 20. About 10, right? So we need 10 and then 5 times 5 equals 25. So add that to the 10, 25, we get 35. Alright, let's move on to 36. Area of a rectangle is 56.3 centimeters square. If the length is multiplied by 4 and the width is half, the area is this. So it's like you're multiplying by 2. Because I divide, so 1 to that. So that would be 107. Alright, a man leaves home at, let's pull up down here because I want to see the pictures. A man leaves home at 22:15 hours and reaches his destination at 400 hours on the following day in the same time zone. How many hours did the journey take? Okay, it's very easy. All right, so this is 22 that we want. 22 from 12. So that be 10. So that be 10, 15 minutes, and then reach 4. Alright, so I commit how much it need to reach to 200. You more 200 to 12. So 45 minutes carry to 11. So that's 1 hour and 15 minutes. Or 1 and a quarter. Alright, so 15 minutes is a quarter. Alright, so we just add 1 to 4, we get 5. So it's 5 hours and 15. No. This is going to be 15. It's going to be 45 because, yeah. It's going to be 45, yeah. Because I want a 45 more to make it to 11 and 1, yeah. So that's 5 and 3/4. Gosh. So that's P. Guys, read the questions carefully. Alright, let's move on to 38. The distance around the lake is 8 kilometers on the map. This distance around the lake is represented by 2 centimeters. So basically they are saying 2 centimeters represent 8 kilometers. Notice the difference in unit, right? So 1 centimeter represents 4 kilometers. As I divide by 20, and then now, so that would be 1, 4. Alright. Right, let's move on to 39. The perimeter of a square is 56 centimeters. Is its area. Alright, so first we divide 56 because you know, so the parts them must be equal. So we divide this by 4 to find out the length. So 4 into that 1, left 1 here, so 4 into 16, 4. So it's 14 times 14. 4, 4, 16. And I will be this. Alright, let's move on to 40. Hit the like button, guys. Hope you guys trying the questions. The volume of this cylinder is, alright, so they don't work out the pi, so we can see. Alright, so we know that the radius is 3. So it's pi r square h times the height, right? So they didn't work out the pi. So 3 times 3, that's 9 pi times 8. 8, 9, 72. So that's 72 pi. You put the pi up. Let's move on to 41. And it's item 41 and 42 refer to the following. Let me just click on a bit so you guys can see. Alright, let's look at 41. So it says 41 refer to the following. Instagram which shows the number of children 4, 5, 6, and 8 to part in each survey. This is their age, so the ages are here, and the number of children are here. Alright, it says what is the modal age? So the modal age will be the tallest bar, so that is 7. See if they have that as an option. Alright, so let's see. How many children took part in the survey? We have done this before. 3 plus 4. This is 2. Let us match it with this, right? Across. And this is 1. Let's see the total now. 3 plus. Oh, we didn't do the tallest one, which is 5. So 3 plus 4, 7, 9, 14. It's a 42. And 43 says, following table shows the frequency of score obtained a student in a test. The range of the scores, please. Alright, so range is the highest value, subtract the lowest. So it's 10 minus 2, which is equal to 8. So the range is 8. Let's move on to 44. At the end, close to the end. Hit the like button, guys. 44. If the mean of 4 numbers 4, 8, 2x, and 12x is 10, then x is equal to. So the mean at 12, 10 rather. So the numbers are 4, 8, 12. And we know that this must add up to 40, right? So this one is, add up this 8 and the 20, so this is 24. And the total must be 40. So it will be 40 subtract 24. 40 subtract 24 is 12 and 12, 24. So that's 16, right? There's a 2x. And they want us to find x. So 2x is equal to 16. So that means it's divided by 2. So that would leave us with 8. Alright, 45. Of 120 students written an exam, 100 students are expected to pass. The estimated probability that a random selected student will fail in the exam is, if 100 are expected to pass, that leaves 20 are expected to fail over the total. So this cancels this, that's dividing by 10. This gives it is 1 and this 6. So that's A. 46. Which of the following diagrams best illustrate a function? Alright, so I guess they're coming from the x to the y. This is not a function. 1x to 1y. 2x, 1x about 2y. Yes. 1x, 1x. No, can be b either. So it will be the last one. Right? Let's move on. Almost at the end, guys. Almost end. 47 refer to the following graph of a straight line. The line AB cuts the y-axis at. So where does it cut the y-axis? So the y-intercepts. Right? So that's the point right here. And this line x is 0. So x equals 0. So that's 0, negative 2. And that is number 30. Number 48 says if hx is equal to 3x minus 2 divided by 5, then 2h negative 6 is equal, so that's 3. Let's going to substitute 6 in it. So 3 6s negative 80 minus 2. So that's negative 20 divided by 5. That gives us negative 4. Alright, let's go. Hit the like button, guys. Alright. 49 to the following number line, we chose the solution of an inequality. Right? Inequality above is defined by. Alright, so guys, both ends are open. That means less than and greater than or whatever, right? So this open, so negative 2, not this. To the E where both is open, right? If it was black out, the line is drawn on it, right? Just in case you book up on those, and we book up, alright, let's move on. 50. Almost at the end now, guys. The values of x for which y equal 4x minus x squared intersect at y equals 0 are. So this is the x-axis. So let us see where it goes to x-axis. This is the point origin, so this is 0. And this is 4, so x is equal to 0 and x is 1. Let's move on to 50. 51 rather. Which of the following best describe the function? Alright, so we have 2 and we put 5. Alright, so it's a plus 3. And that would be f of x, f of x or y. I want to put a little bit tricky, alright? Let's move on to 52. Alright. Each exterior angle of a regular polygon is 60 degrees, then the polygon is a. So guys, only 60 in 360 to get the number of sides. Because remember, total must be 360. So let's divide it by 360 by 60. It's 6. So that's a 6-sided figure. So that's C, a hexagon. Hexagon of 6 sides, right? Alright, 53, the measure of the angle ABE. So ABE, which is this angle right here. So that would be 180 minus the 58. So that's 122. I notice the last part of the paper is not a lot of workout, right? Just general knowledge. So work through your paper very fast. What is the value of x? So this is 30. You know that every triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we add this and this. That's what 60. So we subtract 6 from that and we get 120. Alright, let's move on to 55. Which of the image? Hold on, you have to go back. Refers to the following diagram in the line y equal x. What is the image of the line y equal x when it is rotated anticlockwise about the origin in 90 degrees? So this 90 degrees, so suppose so. Line anticlockwise. So right here, so that will be part of 5. It will be d y equal negative. Oh, this is one. Let's just say this was 1, then the negative 1. Why the X will be positive, Y will be negative. Hold on, guys. I want to up me away. Hold on. Alright. So I'll go with D. Alright, 56 refers to the following pair of similar triangles. The length MO in centimeter is the first means MO. So this other side here, right? Alright, this 6 and this actually I'm divide by 2. Both of them similar. So I have this here. MO alpha AC. Alpha 7. That'll be 3.5. Same angle, same everything, right? Just dimension achieved. In the triangle not drawn to scale, angle BAC equal 30 and AD equal 40. Then BC in meters is BC. So we have look at this side. So that the opposite. I was looking from this angle of hypotenuse. Sin 30. 40 cross multiply, so 40 times 40 times in 30, and that would be 3. We can finish up now, guys. 58 in the triangle not drawn to scale, AB 17 is 15. What is the size of? Alright, so that would be 17 square. So one of the triplets minus 15 square. So 289. Remember, me over 25. 584. From 86. So it's the square root of 60. In the triangle PQR, angle P equal x degrees and angle Q equal to x. What's the size of angle R? Right, so that would be add these two, get it add up to 180 minus x plus 2x. Right, so it's 180 minus 3x. Alright, that's D. We make it to the end, number 60. Thank you guys so much. Really. A survey sets up an instrument 12 meters from the foot of a building and record the angle of elevation of the building. An estimate of the height of the building is obtained by calculating opposite and adjacent. So add in the 1.6, right? So that's right. So guys, we have made it to the end. Thank you guys so much. If you have not subscribed, please do so now. So to submit them out, no doubt. See you guys in another video.